had no intention of ever going to Switzerland. Sure, it seemed like a nice place to go, but I heard how expensive it is, and I immediately struck it from the list of possibilities. And yet, here I am, on an airplane to Switzerland. I wasn't so sure about this, but I did get really excited when I saw those gorgeous mountains. Tight squeeze. We really made this work. With one stop at a gas station, it took us 3 hours to get there from the Zurich airport. By that time, it was 9:30, and we learned the hard way that everything in Nendaz shuts down early this time of year. Bars were open and will serve alcohol, but the kitchens were closed.
Maybe baby pregnancy test. Mild chili chips. Waffles. Snickers satisfies.
We found one place in the entire town where we could get a pre-packaged panini that they heat up for you. It was actually pretty good. We were happy to get it because we were so hungry and there were 0 other options.
You guys make it. Oh my god.
We stayed at a place called Residence Montcalm, which can be booked online, but it's also a timeshare property, but it's also a place where people live, and it's above a few ski shops, so it's kind of different. This is the kitchen, and it does have a small mini fridge and a microwave, no oven. This is the tiny little half bath downstairs right when you come inside the door. It's nice that it has a balcony. This probably wouldn't have been the first choice for any of us, but it was large enough to fit us all. It would be really cheap for all of us, so we just went with it.
This place is so tiny. Okay.
The cabin vibe was charming. It was a decent enough place for us to stay, and I'm glad that it was clean. But I was also glad we weren't going to be staying there the whole week. Upstairs is 2 bedrooms and 2 full baths. 2 closets, the one on the left had a bar, the one on the right just had shelves. This is our tiny bathroom right outside our room.
This one's a little bit bigger.
This was the main bedroom. It was larger and had an ensuite bathroom and a closet. This was also the largest bathroom.
This room's actually a pretty decent size.
There was some extra storage in the hallway, which came in handy.
Oh, we can probably use these shelves here if we need to.
At 3:30 in the morning, we all woke up hot. This is a winter cabin in the Swiss Alps. We were there in the summer. No air conditioning.
It's really hot in this room. Is that what it did before you guys were able to open it? Mm-hmm. Just the shade thing, and then finally somehow it just opened?
Both rooms have this vent that is controlled by a remote control. We opened it before bed, but it closed on us, and we had to try to figure out how to keep them open.
It's open. Yeah, it's open. Have not slept at all.
Si vous n'avez jamais été, allez-y, c'est un beau pays, à vous nourrir, c'est bien.
I love that we were in Nendaz during the annual International Alpine Festival. We grabbed a bite to eat before we hit the road. It took us about 2 hours to get to Geneva from Nendaz. We parked at the Parking du Mont Blanc parking garage. It's only 4 Swiss francs per 2 hours. It's open 24 hours, and this put us right in the center of Geneva. We really just wanted to wander around and see the city. We explored the old town. It was actually kind of deserted, which I didn't mind at all. The shops were closed because that's what happens on Sundays. This is Triel Park. This was the longest bench in the world at 393 feet since 1767 until an even longer one was built in Japan. We stumbled upon this park with huge chess and checkerboards. I don't know how to play chess. We did checkers. I lost as usual. But this is a really nice place to walk or relax. This whole area is pretty close to Old Town. Geneva is the second largest city after Zurich. We spent about 2 hours exploring, and then we got back in the car to head over to dinner. It was a 15-minute drive to Café du Soleil, which is known for having the best fondue in Geneva and for being the oldest bistro in Geneva. The recipes are traditional and authentic. The dollop of sauce on my steak was so good. Everything was so good. I thought the prices were pretty reasonable too. I'd highly recommend it. We did make reservations online earlier that day.
Is it really hot?
Yeah.
You can only go inside the United Nations building if you do a tour, but we thought it would be neat to see this world-famous building, so we lucked into some street parking and ran over there. And this is the place that brings nations together. Over 10,000 meetings a year happen here. I have no idea what they all are, but I know that they have a huge and important impact on the world. Geneva is such a pretty city. I'm glad we got to go.
Our little mountain retreat.
Alright, laundry.
I was really glad to finally get to do laundry. And this was absolutely necessary because between Croatia and Italy, I had sweated out all of my summer clothes. And while the expectation is that it would be cooler in Switzerland, I was finding that it felt warmer than I thought it would.
Yeah, you overloaded that bag. It's not a legit laundry bag. There's a sauna down there. No thanks. I won't be using that. It's very creepy. But this laundry room is not as bad as I thought it would be. I guess we'll be sleeping with moths and mosquitoes because I saw one of those too. Woke up on our last day in Venice thinking I was sick. And today on our first full day in Switzerland. I know I'm sick and it's really a bummer, but I'm trying to rally.
I already had shingles, and to get sick on top of it, I mean, come on.
Pulling out the winter gear, some gloves, long sleeve shirt.
Haute-Nendaz sits high in the mountains at an elevation of 4,200 feet. The roads that lead in and out are very, very narrow, and there are a lot of switchbacks. It was a little scary navigating those roads. I could never, but our guys are really good drivers and they handled it well. Switzerland is divided into 26 cantons, or regions. You can think of them like states. Switzerland is a pretty small country. This was day 3 and we'd already driven almost the whole width. We started out a bit east in Zurich, which is its own canton. Then we headed west and south to Nendaz, which is in the canton of Valais. Then we drove through Vaud Canton to get to Geneva, which is the most far west canton in Switzerland. And then now we're headed back to the canton of Vaud, which is where Glacier 3000 is located, in the ski village of Les Diablerets. The nearest city is Montreux, which is 26 miles away. It took us about an hour and 45 minutes to get here from Nendaz. Parking here at Glacier 3000 is free and there seemed to be plenty of space. We paid for our tickets in advance online, but you have to get the actual tickets at the booth. Mountain tickets are very expensive. That's something to think about when you are planning a trip to Switzerland. You really have to consider which mountains you want to experience because you probably are not going to want to pay for them all. We paid $265 each, and that includes the cable car to get up there and back, and then some of the activities. Glacier 3000 is in the Vaudois Alps, and the largest peak is Les Diablerets. There was no line, so we headed straight for the Alpine coaster. This is not included in the ticket price. It is 9 francs per person or 36 francs for 5 rides. I always wanted to do one of these, so I was really excited. I never thought I'd be doing it in Switzerland. There are handles on the side so you can control the speed. I just coasted along, not too fast.
Hey!
It was so much fun. I was just looking around at the views thinking, wow, I can't believe I'm here. And these mountains are insanely beautiful.
Moo! We're at, what does it say? Oh, wow. 9,620 feet elevation.
I think we lucked out with the weather. The temperature that day was 63 degrees. The low was 48 and the high for that day was 64. It felt great out there. The sun was blazing up there. There was one moment where I wanted to put on long sleeves, but it didn't last very long. I think it was the sun that was keeping us warm. And the elevation, we were closer to the sun than ever. I definitely expected it to feel colder. This is the peak walk that is included in the ticket price. It got a little bit crowded, but the views were so stunning up there. It was incredible. I've definitely seen mountains before, but these are like real mountains. And then you have to take the ski lift to get to the Glacier walk. This is the other included activity. I've never been skiing, and I can't tell you the last time I saw snow. It's been a really, really long time. I'm sure it's really pretty, but I don't think I would want to go to Switzerland in the winter. I don't think I could handle it. Snow in the summer is perfect.
This is treacherous.
I know. Better over this foot in this part.
It was probably a combination of having a cold and the elevation, but my ears were plugged up for half the day. I felt better than the day before, thank goodness, but I still didn't feel 100%. If I weren't out there trying to live my best life, I'd probably have been in bed. This was another first for me. I didn't expect to go that fast, but it was fun.
You got me by that much.
This is the Glacier walk, and it was really hard for us to stay on our feet. The snow is really slippery.
I mean, it's just a different view.
If it were more tightly packed, it might be
Right there.
more possible.
Oh my god.
If it had better shoes, I probably would have wanted to keep going, but the slipping and sliding was just not working. And my feet were starting to get wet. Other activities at Glacier 3000 for an extra fee are the snow bus and dog sled ride.
To have so relaxing.
We went back to the Alpine coaster to ride in pairs. The back person controls the speed, and this was my chance to finally go fast.
There you go. Hold on. We're going around.
Okay.
That was fun!
Made it.
That was a lot faster. So it's good, I got to go fast. A quick one, yeah.
We spent about 4 hours there. It was a really good time. So incredibly beautiful. I still cannot get over it. There is a restaurant at the top built into the mountain with a nice view, Restaurant Bata, but it looked crowded and it was pretty expensive. If you want to eat there, you can make reservations on the Glacier 3000 website. They also have 2 other restaurants at the bottom of the mountain.
Hi! We're on an adventure. We don't know where we're going, but we'll see.
Right?
Yeah.
In search of food, we somehow ended up about 45 minutes away in the tiny, tiny town of St. Maurice.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, but it's neat.
And this is one of the most beautiful things about winging it a little bit when you travel, the interesting places you discover along the way.
Just made it out.
This is Chateau de St. Maurice. It's a castle built in the 15th century. We showed up after hours, but you can buy tickets to go in and see the different art exhibitions. But what I would have really wanted to do that is also right here is the Fairies Cave, or Grotto aux Fées, which is an underground cave with a waterfall at the end. The pictures online looked really cool, and if you did it as a combo, it could be pretty neat. St. Maurice is this idyllic, perfect little Swiss village. I loved how non-touristy it was. It was empty. We found this little place to eat. Nobody spoke English. The shopkeeper spoke only French, and I kind of loved it. Food was simple and good and reasonably priced. The husband rang up my food, and I don't think the wife trusted him. She had me come back in and redid the math, which was basically just writing it down on a piece of paper. It was great. Such a cute little town, and I'm so glad we ended up there. Switzerland is incredible, and I can't believe there was a time when I didn't care about seeing it.
Laundry round 2.
These washer dryers are so tiny, we had to split it up, and one of the hardest things about doing laundry on vacation is just making time for it. We waited until the clothes had gone through the wash cycle before heading out. The most common language spoken in Switzerland is German at over 60% of the population. 20% speak French and 8% speak Italian. Nendaz was very French. All the locals we encountered spoke French. The night was still young, and this was just the beginning of us bar hopping through this Swiss village.
And the next shots are from me with the French accent. Welcome in Switzerland. Yeah.
And when we got hungry, there were paninis. I have no idea what it's like in the winter, but during the summer, it's just locals. We didn't run into any tourists, and I really liked that. It wasn't crowded, and the people were really friendly. They were playing American music, and we basically shut the place down. We asked the bartender for the iPad, and he gave it to us, and we got to play whatever songs we wanted. I love getting on the dance floor, and we just had a good old time. There are hiking trails within a 5-minute drive of our hotel, but we really just wanted to experience Nendaz during the day and relax.
I think I might get a sandwich because we're past breakfast.
The weather was a perfect mid-70s. Geneva is large and modern, and that was great, but I definitely think you need to experience small and traditional like St. Maurice and Nendaz. We walked around a little bit, but you can't really go too far because the sidewalks start to disappear. The official currency in Switzerland is the Swiss franc. We showed up with a bunch of euro, and we found that in Nendaz, they would take the euro, and then you would get change in francs, but it didn't seem like they really wanted the euro, especially in the little local bar. We finally had a chance to get to the shops before everything shut down, so we could eat something that night besides a panini. No wine at the grocery store, it's here in the butcher shop.
Boom. Shaka laka.
Nendaz is part of the Four Valleys towns, which is the largest ski area entirely in Switzerland. It is the quintessential Swiss town. It is so cute.
We got our paninis.
We're actually enjoying the balcony.
5 days, 4 nights. This was the longest time we'd stayed anywhere so far, and I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we had the experience of staying in such a small town that I might not otherwise have even seen. We were loading up the car to leave by 7 a.m. We were moving on to a new city and a new hotel, and we had a lot of plans for that day.